Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Season 12, Episode 4, Forsaking All Others. So we're just going to get on to it. I'm sorry I'm a little late doing this recap than what you guys are used to. I watched the show on Sunday night and I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I was just too tired to even film the review. So I'm like, let me do it the next morning and stuff and everything. And I was just like, and I hope a lot of people still view it and stuff. So nonetheless, got caught up on it. So let's get on into it. The first couple I want to talk is we're going to start with the new couple, Thomas and Paula. So as we all know, last week Thomas and Paula arrives from Brazil. She's all big into that manifestation or whatever and everything. And on her way home from the airport, she's like saying, "Oh, thank you, universe, for this opportunity." And Thomas got mad at her for saying that. He's like, "Dang, like you keep thanking the universe for everything, but what about me? I feel insulted that you just keep thanking the universe all the time and everything." She's like, "Oh, well, I thank you too, but the universe got me here or whatever." He's like, "Whatever." So they get to the apartment where Thomas lives, and apparently, it's not as big as Paula likes it to be. She comes in and she was like, "I thought you did some rearrangement." And he was like, "Yeah, I did. I did. I cleaned it up for you and everything." And she was like, "Really?" And one of the main things with them is that he has like a really really small like table and like really small chairs where he's sitting. Because remember, Paula likes to collect all those little small little antiques or whatever and everything and whatnot and stuff. And but she's not really too thrilled about the small table. She was like, "I can't sit here. Like it just hurts my knees when I sit here and this and that." So then they get into a little argument about closet space. His closets are really small. Paula has like a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes and everything. So now they're trying to adjust to just where to put everything. And he didn't do, a lot of people do this. This is common. We see it all the time on 90 Day. He didn't make enough room for Paula's stuff. Dude, when your woman is coming in town, moving in and stuff, she's gonna need a lot of closet space. Now I know you have to do. She's gonna have to deal with the carts that are given to her and everything, but you're gonna have to make like a lot of room. You're gonna have to like pile your stuff in somewhere just so she has the most room and stuff. So they're arguing over that, but he was just like, "Well, give me like a month or so to fully adjust to this." She's like, "No, not a month. You get 7 days, or else I'm going back and everything." So later they get ready for bed and stuff and everything. She starts cuddling. She comes up with a new word for cuddling and stuff. They get into their little small bed and stuff and have their first night together or whatever. And she's like, when they were getting into bed, she was like, "Give me your legs" and stuff or whatever. And that was basically it. So I mean, like I said last week, I'm kind of pulling for them. They're like, so far, will be my favorite couple. I just hope that they, work out their issues and stuff and everything. So yeah, that was Thomas and Paula. The next couple I want to talk is Asia and Maxwell. Oh, Sister Asia. We got Sister Girl Asia, Miss Pentecostal Queen herself. So we all know a few weeks ago, Maxwell was denied his K-1 visa because they thought it was fraud. And now, after she met with the attorney a couple weeks ago, she wants to try to plan a trip to Nigeria. So now she meets up with one of her friends, who is a prophetess, and to pray over her. So once again, she meets up with her prophet friend. She's praying, speaking in tongues, and everything. Thank you, Jesus. Now here's the thing. I'm not mocking it because I grew up Pentecostal. I know all about it. I know about the speaking in tongues. I understand the Pentecostal thing. But here's the thing. I do feel like Asia is like probably like abusing it in my opinion. Like maybe production is probably like telling her to keep doing that or whatever, but I personally think she's kind of like really abusing it and stuff and everything. And I'm gonna be calling my some members from my church and I'm going to show them some of these videos who don't watch the show to get their perspective on the manner, because because yeah, I should have done that after the first episode, but I'll come back with you guys next week when whenever I talk to my Pentecostal church members and stuff and everything to see if she's overdoing it or is she genuine about that, because that's just not something like you abuse and stuff, like when it comes to your religion and your faith and stuff and everything. So I get her faith. I admire it. I love that she's a woman of God. You know, I'm a man of God. I love that. We need more of that, in my opinion, and stuff in whatever religion you are. But don't abuse it. Don't take advantage of that. So anyway, after that, like the friend talked to her about possibly going to Nigeria to see whether they could do whether she's going to get married or not in Nigeria and apply for the spousal visa. Now, Asia goes back home and she starts packing up her stuff, and I guess her mom is going to go with her to Nigeria. And Asia is like bringing all these like skincare products and stuff because they don't have them much in Nigeria. And she was kind of insulting Maxwell. She's like, his hairline is this, and that. He needs to change a little bit of stuff about his face and everything. And I'm like, that is mean. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he needs to change his hairline. Like, he has acne and stuff and everything. I'm like, that you're saying that about this. You're insulting your God-given husband. You were just saying how God granted you this husband, this man, and everything, that he is everything that God wants him to be, this and that and everything. And then you're going to talk about his hairline. You're going to talk about his acne and all that. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. What? I just can't. I'm sorry, yo. I just can't when these people are just so mean to their partners. Like they insult their partners more than they compliment them on this show and everything. It's like it's so. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't. Like where is the respect with your partners? I don't know. I really don't know. So, but yeah, that was Asia and Maxwell. We seen her video chat with Maxwell and everything, talk about the trip and everything. She said that she's not going to hope that on this trip there's no family drama or nothing. I'm sure there'll be family drama. You know, you can't. It wouldn't be 90 Day Fiancé without no family drama now, wouldn't it be? No, no. So yeah, that was Asia and Max. So the next couple I want to talk is Shay and Annabelle. So Shay and Annabelle, and we seen Annabelle wake up and like starts cleaning up the house and cleaning up with that dog hair and all that, whatever. And Shay comes in and he's like, Annabelle, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm cleaning. And he was like, no, get back in bed. I got a surprise for you. I'm going to make you some breakfast in bed. She's like, oh, okay. He makes her breakfast in bed. She enjoys it. And then they decided to go out. He takes her around just like a little tour around the area. He just starts talking about all the historic facts in his town on what happened and this, and that. And Annabelle's getting frustrated with them. She was like, man, Shay is talking so much about this stuff. Like, she was just like, I don't really care. Like, realistically, like, I can understand English for the most part, but she was just like, Shay, shut up, please. Just shut up. She really was not interested in all those little historical facts that he was like providing her around the town. And you know what? Honestly, I don't blame her. I don't really, unless I'm directly, intentionally want to know some historic facts and stuff and everything. I personally wouldn't care either. I'd be like Annabelle, shut up. So they go to this pool hall and they meet up with some of Shay's friends and stuff. I think his name was Jeff, and I forget Jeff's wife's name. and they meet and everything. And Jeff was just like, "Oh, I was worried at first because how Shay was describing you. I felt like you would have been like a mail order bride, basically." I'm like, that is rude. And Annabelle was just like, like your friends really thought that of me. And Shay was like, "Oh, I don't really understand like this, like what mail order bride means and everything." But she was like, "Well, we've been together for 5 years before this, so yeah." So the friend was just like, "Well, basically, I hope it works out." He gives her a hug and everything. So after the friends leave and everything, Shay decides to tell Annabelle about what happened with the ex-wife Nicole and what happened when she came over on that first episode. So Shay told Nicole that Shay told Annabelle that she knows about Nicole coming over and stuff, but he wanted to get into the direct, like, deep of the conversation and stuff. He was like, "I want to tell you this before Nicole does and starts trouble." So some things have happened in the past with one of my friends and everything. And Annabelle was like, "Well, did you cheat on me?" And Shay was like, "No, I didn't cheat on you. I wasn't intimate with her or anything. But, people's definition of cheating is like different from mine or whatever." Um, we, I, again, he was like, "I never cheated on you or nothing, this, and that. But, there were times that we hung out, we gotten drunk, and she made a kiss me on the cheeks. I made a kissed her on the lips, like drunkenly and stuff and everything. But that was just that and everything. There was nothing else with it. And it's just me doing that. I'm drunk and stuff." Annabelle wasn't really happy about that. She's like, "You cheated on me." And then she gets up and storms away and stuff and everything. Now, Annabelle said that he tells me that they weren't intimate, but she's like, "I don't believe him because when he's drunk, I'm pretty sure he'll do anything when he's drunk, and he'll forget anything when he's drunk and everything." So she was just like, ugh. She was kind of hurt by that. And the thing about it is that I appreciate that Shay told Annabelle the truth. And I'm sure like that conversation and that moment was probably produced. That was something production, because from what I found out, like talking to the previous cast members, is that like those kind of conversations, when they want to have them, are produced. Like the producers want them to wait to have those types of conversations so they can have a story. So that's just finally talking to the cast and getting behind the scenes scoops. Now, like I said before, I have a different perspective on things, and I feel like that was in that moment, that was one of those, because Annabelle apparently already knew that Nicole came over, but she didn't know about what was said and everything. So once again, Annabelle gets up and storms off, and that's where we left off. So that was Shay and Annabelle. We just ride along with these couples. There wasn't much went down in this episode. The next couple I want to talk is Mallory and Raji. Mallory and Raji. So they're finally leaving Turkey. They got 4 flights. They got to fly from Turkey to Istanbul to one other place, then to Washington, D.C., and then to Huntsville, Alabama and stuff. All the flights went well. On their way to the airport from Turkey, they got stopped. They got a speeding ticket from the police. That's funny. Then they go through when they arrived to Washington, D.C. He had to go through immigration and stuff and everything. Everything he said he was asked a couple questions. He got through fine. He actually got through before even Mallory got through and stuff. So all the airport stuff went well, and now Raji is in America. They get picked up by one of Mallory's best friends and everything. She has like a car. She has like stuff written on her car saying "Welcome to America. If you're from America, honk." She's coming in. They're coming into that southern style thing or whatever. So they go. So she rides in. They get in the car, ride back home and stuff and everything. And Mallory is excited because she wants to give Raji a lot of Southern style loving. Basically, she wants the barbecues, hot dogs, and burgers. And she's talking about Chick-fil-A. She wants to buy some Chick-fil-A and stuff and everything. And she's like, that's the Lord's chicken and stuff and everything. And Raji he's excited to be in America and this and that. So they get to the house. Mallory does have a decent house and everything, and she has 4 dogs. The 4 dogs came out and started jumping on her and everything, and everything. And Mallory's just like, "Welcome to my home," and then she changes it. Actually, you know what? Welcome to our home, and everything. And once again, Rosh is so excited, this, and that, and everything. But so he gets all situated and stuff and everything, and then what was revealed last week is that her ex or her ex little friends with benefits or whatever was watching the dogs while she was gone in Turkey. I guess that this guy named Brandon, she says that she was in a situationship with, is coming over to pick up like a camera and stuff. And now Raji is pissed. He is pissed. He's just like, oh my God, like, this is my house now. Don't want him coming over because he's uncomfortable, and I don't blame him. Now, in this situation, he's just coming over to pick something up and pick something of his that's up, and that's it. But I don't blame him. And we've seen this when he arrived at the door. This guy has like a big beard with a hat and stuff and everything. And it's just like, Now, judging by the previews of next week, they're going to be having like a big barbecue, and Raj is going to be confronting Mallory's little ex-fling and everything, saying that he does not like him being like so close to Mallory and stuff. I could get past that, but they showed something in the previews that I, I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna show you guys something. Actually, you know what? I can't. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because it'll just be too much right now. But there was a sign. They're having a barbecue, and if you guys caught it, we'll talk more about it next week on how it goes and stuff. But the barbecue name, for the theme of this name for this little, because we all know that they're, Mallory says that she is a redneck. The sign said the theme for the name is called White Trash Bash. It says White Trash Bash. Now, you guys know this whole season what I've been saying about Mallory and Rich, that I had to side eye on this couple because of especially what Mallory said in the first episode and stuff. When I see a sign that says White Trash Bash, and then another thing, it says Redneck for life and stuff, I think you guys kind of, without me saying it, you guys kind of know why I had the side eye on them and everything. And I'm not someone who likes to pull this card all the time and everything, but some things are just pretty obvious. And like I said, what Mallory said in the first episode just has me like really questioning. And the fact that they're getting the most scenes out of this is very alarming to me, in my opinion. I'm sorry. So yeah, next week we'll see them at the party and stuff and everything, and then Rashi confronting the ex boyfriend or whatever the heck he is and stuff, and it's just not going to be pretty, in my opinion. So yeah, so that was Mallory and Raji. And the last couple I want to talk is Debbie and Mido. And so what happened last week was Mido surprised Debbie in a ride to America without telling her. They get in the car from this episode and talk about the surprise. Didn't really like it, doing it like that, but I mean, it's whatever. Debbie's daughter, Devin, drove and everything. She was excited to see him and was happy that it all worked out. They go back to the house and there's just they have like a lot of it looked like Egyptian stuff and stuff that they were packing up and everything and whatnot, and just showing like Mido everything. And they decided to go to bed, basically. Now, I did not realize that Debbie's daughter Devin was actually staying with her and stuff, that they were still living together and everything. She was actually like, "This is my spot on the couch," because they lived in a really small apartment apparently, but apparently they got a new bigger apartment and stuff. So Debbie and Maida decide to go to bed. They are going to stay in the same bedroom, but as we all know, Maida is a virgin, and with him being from a Muslim country and culture, he's a firm believer of no sex until marriage and stuff. So Debbie actually changed into some pajamas that like covered up her entire body and stuff, and Maida was like, yeah, she did not look sexy at all and everything. Now, that was rude how he said that. But then after thinking about it, I think like he said that as like in a complimented way, because like he didn't, so there wouldn't be no temptation, because the producers asked Maido's like, are you worried that like, are you going to be tempted to be with her? He's like, no, I'm not going to be tempted. So what we're going to do is we're going to create like a pillow wall in the bed. We're going to put a lot of pillows in the middle of the bed, so there wouldn't be no touching and stuff. And the next day, the producers asked how did the night go, and he's like, it went well. There was nothing, the pillows like fell over a little bit, and there's just a slight touch, but not much or whatever, and everything. So and the producers asked Maida, like, do you think that you're scared that if you guys don't do it, that you won't be sexually attracted to Debbie? He's like, yeah, I am worried about that. So we'll just have to wait till that works out. So after all of that, Debbie takes Maida out on, because she lives in New Orleans. She takes him out on in the town of New Orleans. They go to Bourbon Street and everything. They pass like strip clubs and all these joints and stuff and everything. As we all know, Maida wants to be an actor and everything. He's like, so while they were walking around town and everything, he asked Debbie, how far is it here from Hollywood by car? And she was like, a couple days. He's like, really? A couple days? He's like, honey, we need to move to Hollywood. And Debbie's just like, no, no. I wouldn't. He's like, I really want to start my acting career. And he's like, yeah, I know. She was like, I know you've been ready since the day you landed here and everything. But we have a wedding to prepare for first and everything. Like, and Debbie's getting mad at him because like he just wants to just focus on his career and his acting career that he can't even do until he gets all his legal paperwork fully done after they get married and stuff. So he's just all worried about that. And, Debbie's starting to get frustrated because he's just like, oh, take a picture of me. I'm for my social media. I'm a social media star, this, and that. And I'm like, bro. And like I said, I saw a video yesterday. Apparently, Maida's name is actually another form of a Muhammad. It just seems like there's it just seems like the bulk of the Muslim men that have been on this show. And when I looked him up last week, I saw that his name is actually a form of Muhammad, basically. It's like a lot of the Muslim men on this show name Muhammad, basically. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that to be rude or anything. It's just that it just seems like every time I hear Muslim men from one of these Muslim countries, their names are Muhammad, like Daniela Muhammad, Eva Muhammad, that Muhammad, Emma's ex-boyfriend Muhammad, and now this guy's name is Muhammad. Like, Muhammad must be like a really common name there and stuff and everything. So they go. So after their day out on Bourbon Street and whatnot, they go back home and they actually got a new apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, a little bit more spacious. Once again, Debbie's daughter Devin is staying with them and stuff. They pack up all their things and just move around the corner. Apparently, when they get to the apartment is really nice. It was really spacious and everything. The movers came in and helped them move and whatnot and stuff. But apparently, on their way to the apartment, Debbie and Maida got into a big fight over something, and it was something stupid. Apparently, Maida was driving the moving truck, and he wanted Debbie to film him doing that. and Debbie accidentally hit the photo button instead of the video, and he just got mad at that. And he wanted the video and stuff, and then I guess like Debbie like put it in his face while he was driving and stuff or whatever. So they get to the new apartment, they're unpacking and everything. Mido is just not talking. He's just like, Debbie's just like, you're just not going to talk to me. And he was just like, you know what? I'm not happy right now. And Debbie told the producers, she was like, you know, he better get happy because I'm sick of this already. He can't be acting all immature because he didn't get his way all the time. And Mido was just like, she just didn't even say I'm sorry. It was just like, it wasn't that big deal, but she just didn't say sorry. So Mido was just like, acting childish. I mean, like I said, I'm not a fan of him either. Like, I mean, he is nicer than some of the other guys that we've seen on the show. But the thing is that his intentions are just obvious. He does he really love Debbie? And I don't know. And he just really wants to be an actor. And I mean, and nobody's stopping him from following his dreams, but he needs to do everything in God's timing. And so, like a lot of these people, when they come here, they like to, you know, I love their ambition. I love the fact that they want to do something with their life when they're here and make a better life for them. I love that. But you know, you got to be patient. Like things, like when you do stuff like this, it's a process and stuff. So he just got to be patient. He's gonna if he wants to be a movie star here in America, he can be a movie star. Nobody's gonna stop him. But with you being an immigrant, you got to follow all the proper timing and paperwork and this and that. But also don't take advantage of falling in love with someone just to get to where you want to be, because that's not fair. And I feel like he's not really that much in love with Debbie right now. I could be wrong. Maybe production is like egging this on and stuff and everything, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, that was Debbie and Mido, and we did not see Katie and Josh in this episode or Marissa and Edward in this episode. So yeah, that was basically it, guys. That is the end of my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll be back on tomorrow to recap tonight's season 3 premiere, A 90 Day The Last Resort. And this is, I tell you what, when we do Last Resort, this is going to be a sad season. Now, we already done know all the outcomes, you know, because this cast was just pretty obvious with the outcomes, obviously with current events that have been going on. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow. But it's going to be a sad season of The Last Resort. So I will talk to you guys then tomorrow and watch this episode. So thank you guys again so much for watching. See y'all again tomorrow. Bye, y'all.